Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Rude Awakening Cookie Exchange. I'm Connie Powers, and I specify that today because I'm using a new beauty product with retinol, and I'm sure you're saying, who is that? Is that her younger sister? But no, it's me. It's me. It's my new retinol. What does it look like? Yeah, I know. It's great. So today we have our Rude Brooders. We've got all of our faves here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a beautiful day. Yesterday we had a power outage and it was not very comforting.
Flanders, Bruiser.
So many good friends here. We had a power outage, 6 hours last night. I'm not sure if you got it, but it was a little scary because just yesterday we were talking about, you know, having pork and chicken and beef and all of our freezers full for this long, hard winter. And all I could think about was power outage. How long is this going to last? And are we going to lose everything? And 6 hours later, we had power. So Hydro One came through for us and we thank them. We are going to start off with Drink O'Clock. So today we're making a hot chocolate and red wine. I can't see me. There I am. So, you know, we haven't tried it. I'd like to say we have, but we haven't. So what you do is you, in a little saucepan, this isn't, you know, you make a hot chocolate mix. That's kind of gross. This is chocolate chips or shaved chocolate. This is milk, a little bit of sugar, some half and half, and you make your own chocolate drink. And then you pour in. So I've melted it. If you can see here, I melted that chocolate chips. It didn't take very long. And now I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla. My vanilla that I've made is still in my pantry cold space waiting to be good. Oh, and 2/3 cup of wine. Now here's where it gets a little bit funky. So we're going to put that wine in. You don't put it in till after. Yeah, that looks a little strange, but we're going to give this a try. I am going to rim our glasses. Bombay loves this part. So I am going to just do this. And what I've got here is a little bit of cinnamon sugar. So I'm taking some of the hot chocolate mix and I just rim them with a little bit. I'm sure every time I say it, Bombay smiles. Okay, so then we're going to put this in a morning rim, nothing like it. I'm going to put that in our cups. So it's chocolate, milk, red wine, and that's it. And that's our Drink O'Clock, but we need to add some whipped cream. Now, don't buy that whipped cream in the can, you know, that Gailey whipped cream. No, whip it by fresh cream. Do not buy that aerosol can that you do this. Jack's, hey. Okay, so look at that. Ooh-wee. Don't buy the aerosol can, though. Whip it from fresh. Then I'm going to put a little bit of this cinnamon sugar on top of that whipped cream. I'm going to top it off like this. And here you have got hot chocolate, red wine. Now, what do you think? Does that look delicious? All right, give it to the camera guy because don't spill it on my laptop. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, there.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's delicious. I thought it was going to be yuck. Got it all over. All right, so my friends, we are about to start the Rude Cookie Exchange #2. We have got our first guest is Scott. Scott is a dear, dear friend of mine. He's an old friend of mine.
Old.
Yeah, very old. And we went to university together at the University of Guelph. And I've told you the story before. Across the room, we picked up an accent. I don't know. We picked up something. We were talking about a Windsor thing. And even in Guelph, we realized, yeah, you're from that city too. So Scott lives in the GTA. He is a lifelong friend of mine. You'll see him in the Rude Awakening TV chat as Scooteron. And we kind of share the same sense of humor. It's just a little warped. Yeah, so when Tom's around us, Scott and I just laugh hysterically, and he just poker face looks at us like, "What are you laughing about?" Scott told me that he likes to cook and bake, and he is responsible to cook for he and his mom daily. Today, Scott is making Greek cookies that I cannot pronounce, so I will let Scott do that. And so we are going to turn the Rude Awakening stream over to Scott.
Well, hello from Scarborough. Can anyone hear me?
Yes. Bringing you up.
I can't hear me, but that's okay.
I can't hear you. You can't hear me.
I can hear you, Tom. Yeah,
Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
That's me.
that's you.
Wow.
Anything?
Yep.
Okay, good. So, everyone, thanks so much for having me here. I appreciate it. As you said, there's a whole bunch of Windsor stories that we could tell, but I'll share that for another time, another place. So, the cookies that you cannot pronounce are called koularakias. Jesus, I can't pronounce them, and I'm the one that's half Greek. This is one of those cookies that my mom has made every year since I was a kid and probably before I was born growing up. And I think I mentioned one time that these are cookies that are in traditional Greek culture, they're usually made around Easter, but hey, it's Christmas. I make cookies. That ought to be good. Wonderful recipe, as I showed Connie and Tom earlier, is handwritten recipe in pen with very little directions. So it's been fun. I'm happy to share that recipe with you. And such exciting things as a half a pound of butter, because Lord knows trying to measure that out is fun, a half a pound of fruit sugar. And so people always ask, what is fruit sugar? And I think someone last week on Rude was pointing out super fine sugar. I don't know why it has to be super fine sugar, but that's what the recipe calls for. So I'm going to honor tradition and make that happen. So, sorry to jump into the camera. We're going fully 3D today. So what I've got here is about 4 cups of flour. Now I say about because the recipe says 4 to 5 cups of flour. Fun when everything is basic, because all these wonderful recipes are done by hand and by feel. So what I'm going to mix in here as well is half a teaspoon of cinnamon. I've measured right to the nose of what the half a teaspoon of cinnamon should be, and also it calls for 2 heaping tablespoons, of baking powder. Fun part of this is if you put too much baking powder, as I discovered in yesterday's trial run, you get elephant cookies. Don't overheat your tablespoons. So there's 1 tablespoon there, 1 heaping tablespoon right there, baking powder. That is probably enough. And as I pointed out, I recently moved, and there's my dog in the background. I recently moved, and I do not have a whisk, which seems like a really stupid thing to do. And now I'm wearing black and dark colors, and every time I mix the flour, it ends up all over my shirt. Pardon me my language. I'm sorry. Stuff ends up on my shirt. So, I just did this so everyone can get the full 3D effect of what it's like. But I really want to get the baking powder mixed up with the cinnamon and with the flour to get it in there. And I have an extra about half cup of flour sitting here when we start mixing the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. If it's a little bit too wet, which is very likely, I'm going to have to add some flour to it, because it always seems to be the case. I just don't know why they don't make the recipe into like 4.5 cups of flour. So the wet ingredients I pre-mixed just for the sake of expediency. I put the half pound of butter, I melted it, I didn't melt it enough, wish me luck. I've also got orange rind in here. I put a lot of orange rind, and I took the orange rind, long strands of it, and cut it up because we want enough orange rind that's in every single cookie. I also have 3 whole eggs in here and 4 ounces of juice. Now, again, if you looked at the recipe and studied it at all, which you probably wouldn't have, it says 4 ounces or half a cup of milk, and then Mom scratched out juice, because apparently she only uses juice for the recipe. Again, who knows why? Who knows why? It just is what it is. So now I'm going to mix this in, and I'm going to do a lot of this by hand now. So it's going to get messy, and my hands are going to get really goopy. So mixing it in, trying to get this around. And again, like lots of the old family recipes that you probably hear on the cookies, it's all about feel. And this is one of the things where if my mom doesn't come out, I'm going to have to guess on the feel on this. All that out there, all the butter, all the orange juice. And the funny thing is, they end up being, really, like from the history, they've been more of a drier shortbread cookie, which is nice. And and the thing is, with koularakias, there we go, pronounce it again.
No, but this is good with the.
Can you hear me? With koularakias, a lot of times, they're different takes on those cookies depending on where you're from in the country. I've seen some that are really, really wet, some are really heavy on the orange. They add nutmeg. mean, really, like any sort of family recipe, you can make this to your taste. Mom, growing up because of the things back in the day and my parents being sort of unhealthy, used to use margarine. I refuse to use margarine, but you can if you want to. I just like the full fat that butter adds to the cookies. And also, considering this recipe said, milk initially, I put in just a splash of cream because I just again want the full fat flavor. And if it adds a little bit of moisture and adds a little bit of that different texture to it, once it's done, it'd be great. So I'm doing my best here by hand to mix this up. And I'm trying to make this into a big giant ball of cookie brain. If I don't have enough time, I'm hoping Mom will come out and help me here. Form these cookies and show them on the cookie tray, and then I'll show you what the cookies should look like from yesterday's batch. But they're pretty darn tasty.
When I first
I know
tasted
they're
it,
a family
that was
thing.
too much. And then
When
with the whipped cream,
I found out that I'm making these cookies,
sick.
that they definitely want me to bring some over. But of course, nobody wants to come over and help me. They just want you to bring the finished product, which is I can't see any comments. Is anyone commenting about my poor techniques here, or?
Ew, margarine.
Yeah, that's exactly what my cousin said.
Oh, they would like some Greek music here.
No Greek music? Oh, shoot. And I put on Christmas music. What was I thinking? Okay, now here's where I am right now with the dough. It's too darn sticky. I'm gonna have to add some more flour to this just to give it a little bit more consistency. So I'm probably putting just about another quarter cup roughly back in, just to try and get a little bit more of make the dough a little bit firmer. It's got to come together, but it's also got to be able to keep apart.
Yeah, you can converse with me live.
So
again,
you actually need a stand mixer. You really need one.
Well, the thing is, I mentioned, I used to have a stand mixer before I moved.
Moved is a nice word.
Pardon?
Moved is a very nice word.
Yes, it was a very nice word. Before I moved, had a stand mixer, and I used it one time, and Mom was never happy with the consistency of the dough. I don't know if it overmixed it or what have you, but it always just seemed to didn't have the same consistency of what she grew up with. And as you know, people, when you're making the cookies, you want things exactly the way they were when you made them before. I didn't mind them, but they were a little bit flatter. They didn't hold their shape. And of course, because you can hand roll all these wonderful cookies, you can make it whatever shape you want to. Sometimes you go to a Greek bakery, you'll see them in like their long tubular forms, or they're like ribbons almost. Mom makes them into little circles, or almost like thumbprint cookies. Although growing up, we always called them the turd cookies. Yep, turd cookies, because they look like round little turds.
Ew.
So if you want to put that as the name of the recipe, hey, it's up to you. Almost there. That is pretty good. Still a little sticky, but pretty good. If you can see that. Sorry, I don't have an overhead cam. And even when I did, my bald head would just blind everything else. So you wouldn't see anything. A little bit more.
How do you get back onto this?
If you can take a look, and I can get a little bit closer, if you can see. You can see the orange rinds in there. It's sort of got that, it's just about past that sticky nature. It's coming together quite nicely, and hopefully they don't fall off the chair onto the floor. That'd be fun. I'm gonna do live. There we go. Fun stuff. And honestly, it really is about the feel. And if you've never done it before, I know you're gonna say, well, how do I tell what the feel is? But when you've done enough and you've added enough flour, you're gonna know if it's too dry. And then when you feel it, it's gonna have it's just gonna start pulling together like that, and it's starting to come off the sides. It's starting to stick to itself. It's probably a little bit moist still, but you know what? For the sake of how much time do I have? I can shut up at any time.
You can go for about maybe 5 more minutes.
Okay, perfect. Well, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start forming some of the cookies, and I'll just load the baking sheet. But basically, you put them in the oven at 350 for anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. I like it a little bit longer because I want the cookies to have just a slight golden brown on top. And when I made them yesterday, when they're too big, they didn't quite brown the way I wanted to, and the bottom's browned beautifully. So I've got some cookie sheets here, which I'll pull into view shortly, but I don't know how my parents, or my mom, I should say, lived life without parchment paper. Because, back in the day, of course, you grease the pan or grease the baking tray, and of course, some things would ultimately stick, others wouldn't. My God, the stuff just comes off as parchment paper. Just It's what you could afford at the time. All right, you're probably tired of watching me mix this. That's roughly where we are. I like to call it cookie brain. Yeah, not bad, not bad. So, cookie tray number 1. Put it right here. Get that out of the way. What I typically do is you grab a small ball of it. It's still a little damp. It's still a little damp. I'm gonna put some more flour in this. But try and get it's not even too
Brown bottoms is
Sorry?
brown bottoms applies to a few people in our chat.
And they look something terrible, a little bit better than that. That's kind of the shape that my mother makes of them. And we had a fight. I made big ones yesterday. She made small ones, and mine again look like elephants, and hers just look like normal sized turds. So that's roughly what it should look like. So
it probably takes a little bit of practice.
Sorry?
It probably takes a little bit of practice to get the right shape and the right amount.
Yeah. Honestly, it really does. It really is about feel, which seems like really counterintuitive, because to me, baking was always like, in my mind, and Connie, please correct me if because I'm wrong. To me, baking was always about precision. Like I always like cooking because, a little splash here and a little splash there isn't going to make much of a difference. To me, baking always seemed like if you don't get the exact amount, it's going to be wrong and screw up.
Yeah.
These recipes kind of prove that otherwise.
What I tend to do, Scott, is when I'm making cookies, I get a weigh scale and I actually weigh out proportions so that I can get a uniform cookie.
Yeah, I've never seen that, so you'll have to show me that.
But I'm sure, like someone like your mom making a traditional cookie like that really knows how to just the amount in her hand feels right.
Yep. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure if she touches this, she's gonna go, nope, too wet, need more dough. But I just want to make a couple, like a row of cookies, just to get a sense of what it looks like. With the baking powder, they're gonna expand a little bit, as you can see with the little loop shape. It gets, it does look a little bit like a chocolate.
Yeah. That looks
really
great.
freaking delicious.
Yeah, that
Mom
looks
used
really good.
back in the day used to dip them sometimes in sesame seeds. So you get that that on top of it as well. And these are very similar to the corribiera cookies, which we always like to call the cocaine cookies, because they're similar to these, except you put a whole bunch of icing sugar on top. So it's like you're going to town on these things. And that's pretty much the recipe. That's pretty much all she wrote for that.
Okay, so Scott, we're going to take you out of your misery here, because I think you're feeling like you need to wrap us up.
Sure. You tell me. This is your first show. I'm not trying to steal the thunder.
No, you've done a great job. Stay close, because we're keep following. We're going to bring Mark in, and we're going to continue this. But we really thank you for taking this risk with us and baking cookies with us.
Oh,
hopefully,
keep in mind. Me, trust me.
Keep in mind the February 13th baking challenge, because we may want you back again.
Okay, you tell me if I pass the audition.
Our people will contact your people. All right, see you later, Scott.
Yeah, that's what they said in the job interview. I don't think you're calling me back.
See you, Scott.
Take care. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so we're back. That was fun. You can see how many different traditional bakes, how many different cultures have that crescent style of a shortbread. It just seems like shortbread transcends across all different nationalities, all different cultures. So we have brought in, I think Scott's still up. You want to end it? There we go. Okay, we have called Mark up. Mark is coming to us from his condominium that he says is under renovations, but we did a sound check yesterday and he looked really good and the kitchen looked fine, so we're sure he's fine. Now I hope you have brought, or you have noticed my apron. It looks like a Santa suit. I think Monique gave me this. I love it. I really do love it. It looks like I have a nice little belt on, but I don't. Anyway, I do have some riveting content once again of meringues, because recently, I did a video, or I did a live stream on Meringue, and I had 0 viewers. And later that day, Allison waxed her eyebrows, and there were 14 viewers. And I was a little ticked with that. So Meringue content isn't as exciting as Allison waxing her eyebrows.
Mark is in the green room waiting.
Okay, so Mark is in the green room. I had this feeling that Mark is a little X-rated. But, you know, you all know Mark. He's Mr. G in our chat.
Yeah.
And he is our, can you turn that down? He lives in the GTA. He's an avid baker. He is a follower of just about every speakeasy channel or show that's on. I often see him in the chat. We say hello. He's just one of the most kindest, most gentle individuals I have met yet. Even might be kinder than Bomb, but I don't know. We'll see. So Mark was willing. He was happy to do this for us. And today Mark is making a turtle thumbprint cookie. His recipe was sent to us. It's on Instagram if you'd like it. So we are. Allison's still thinking about the pumpkin tiramisu. Me too. So we are going to take you to Mark's kitchen and watch this lad make turtle thumbprint cookies. Mark, are you there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can see a lot of you.
Well, Bob said I should be like naked, but I'm not naked. I'm just halfway naked. So.
Just naked.
So.
Can you turn around for a minute? Turn around. Woo! Okay.
Just halfway. So I love turtles at the holidays. They're one of my favorite holiday chocolates. So these cookies kind of just remind me of the holidays. Had my first turtle chocolate the other day. And I'm not like the greatest baker, but I can make do. Some of my friends are a lot better than me. But yeah, so this one's a pretty easy recipe. It's like you posted the ingredients, but it's really just like flour, cocoa, salt, and then you mix butter with sugar. And you just really need to make sure that the butter is really soft, because I tried to rush it and it wasn't soft, and then the butter was flying everywhere. So just make sure the butter is really soft when you go to mix it. And then you add in like an egg, vanilla, and a little bit, I think, of milk. And then you just combine everything, put it in the fridge for like an hour, and then you're kind of ready to go. So I kind of like did it already. And so I took the dough out this morning. It was a little rock solid. So cut it up and tried to warm it up a bit. And we're just kind of getting to the point where we're ready to make the cookies. So I gotta roll these into balls, but first I'm gonna be, once I roll them into balls, I need to dip them in a frothed egg white and then roll them in pecans. So I'm just gonna like froth the egg whites first before I get all dirty. Yeah, I don't bake a ton. I cook a little bit more than I bake, but I do enjoy baking. I usually enjoy baking to give it away, so that I don't eat it all, because that's what happens. A friend gave me shortbread cookies the other week, and I ate them all really quickly. And I apparently have a lot of butter in my fridge at the moment, and that's probably not a good thing either. So I'm probably going to give most of these cookies away. Okay, so that's froth. And then I'm just going to start rolling, well, with my hands.
Your people want to see the tattoo.
The tattoo.
Woo! Slaps.
Lizzie did this for me in the summer.
Looks new.
It's my first tattoo. All right,
So we roll these into balls?
we roll these into balls. just kind of like that. And I'm gonna just kind of roll them all before I start.
How much do they weigh?
How much do they weigh?
Do you measure them?
I have no idea. Don't have a weight scale. But let's call them like 1-inch balls. Let's call them 1-inch balls.
Okay.
On the ball note, I had beaver balls the other day. They were pretty good.
Allison says, sexy naked baker plays with balls, not clickbait. Sounds like clickbait to me.
So just trying to roll these. I think I maybe messed up the consistency just a little this morning, but it's fine.
Allison wants to know who your favorite Food Network chef is.
Oh, I have not watched the Food Network in ages, so I have no idea who's on it anymore. But
Yeah,
I used to watch.
With so many available streams to watch now, I think that Food Network chefs have not become so prominent anymore. We're just all watching with people like you streaming.
So I did just finish watching the Great Canadian Baking Show, though, because my friend Vince was a contestant on the show, and spoiler alert, he won the show, which was really fantastic, and he makes beautiful desserts and cakes and everything. So, in comparison, my stuff doesn't look great.
Yeah, his cakes looked amazing, and the embellishments on them. I think he made like an embellishment with some kind of hard syrup. It looked like a leafy embellishment. It was beautiful.
Yeah. What about the Barefoot Contessa?
Yeah, Allison says she means the classics. Like, who cares about the current lineup? But she means like Barefoot Contessa.
Oh yeah, I used to watch the Barefoot Contessa for sure. She was just always just a little. The innuendo was just always just so perfect. Nigella Lawson was great.
Yeah, I like Nigella
and then there was
a lot.
like a few Canadian. What's that?
I like Nigella. She has a real elegant way of presenting food. She always makes it like a sexy romantic event every time she cooks. Oh, Two Fat Ladies. Allison wants to know if you remember Two Fat Ladies.
Oh yes, from England. Is that them?
Yeah.
And they cooked everything with like a pound of butter or lard or something.
Yeah, that's what Erin says. Too much butter and lard. I used to like a Canadian chef. Oh, I can't remember his name. He's from BC.
I used to watch Christine Cushing a lot.
Oh.
Guy from BC, Smith.
He cooked more than she did.
Yeah, do you remember? He was from BC. His last name was Smith, Chef Smith. I can't remember the first name.
Was he the guy on the East Coast?
Yes. No, West Coast, I thought.
I thought it was East Coast. Kind of had a little long, kind of scraggly-ish hair.
Yeah. I thought he was BC-ish.
I thought he was East Coast, but I could be wrong.
Now, there was Rachel Ray. I didn't
love
Rachel. She had good
Ray.
recipes, but I didn't enjoy her as much because she really peddled a lot of her product rather than her cooking skills.
Yeah, and then when she cooked, I was kind of like, really? I thought they were really dumbed down, it felt.
I thought the same thing. They weren't very elegant. Yeah, Allison says the tall guy, Chef Michael Smith. You know what was cool about him? For a while, he was his show. I mean, before live streaming like that, his show was from his kitchen set, and he had an amazing pantry. And I think that's where I learned the most about pantry storage is from him.
Yeah, he did.
Michael Nesmith.
Okay.
Yeah, Michael Nesmith passed away a few days ago.
Okay, so I got these balls kind of rolled. So then I'm just dipping them in the egg white. This is gonna get messy.
What is that you're dipping it into?
Egg white.
Oh,
Into the frothed egg white. And then rolling it in chopped pecans. And then onto the pan.
You want these?
These what?
What he's making, you want those?
No, I'm just saying, he mentioned Alton Brown. Bruiser did.
Oh, was he the sciencey guy? The sciencey chef, Alton Brown?
Maybe.
We'll see if I have enough pecans.
Brown. Hey, Aaron, thanks for using my emotes. Those emotes are courtesy of the Lizard from Speakeasy. I would like to tell you that I know how to make those, but I didn't. I don't. So she made this one.
Maybe that's the next thing you'll learn, Connie, how to make emotes.
It might be the next thing. You know, we are. What? Oh yeah, Guy Fieri. How do you say his name?
Guy Fieri.
Yeah, Guy. You know what? I loved another show. Wasn't it his? The dives and
Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
Yeah, then you just wanted to make all of those things, and it was a fun show.
I like the guy that cooked on the engine of his car. Who was that?
I don't remember that. Hey, look at the Rude Brood is in full form. Bruiser's one of my proud Rude Brooders. Shows up at my daytime streams. Okay, so you roll them in pecans, and then obviously, are we baking these?
Yes. So then we bake them. Well, we gotta put the little hole in them first. The little hole, the little thumbprint.
Some of us call that a thumbprint, right?
And then we bake them.
Allison says Fieri must have an industrial strength toilet. Yeah, some of the stuff he ate. Wow. Okay, sorry. So you make the thumbprint.
Make the thumbprints. You stick them in the oven, 350 for like 8 to 10 minutes, so not super long. And then when they come out of the oven, you kind of just need to press the thumbprint down just a little bit, just to make sure that it's didn't kind of like lose its depth. But you got to be careful because you could crack the cookie. I didn't count that properly. And then you can fill them with the caramel sauce. So the caramel sauce is just really like easy to make. It's you get the little caramels that are in the little plastic, little cube things, you know. And it's about like 20 of them I use, and then about 4 tablespoons of cream. And people usually like do stuff like that in the microwave and just like heat it up and stir it around and whatever. I don't have a microwave, so I did it on a double boiler. But most people seem to have microwaves, so that's probably easier. And then we just will fill the cookies with the caramel sauce.
Do the cookies cool before you put that caramel sauce in?
They can cool a little bit. They don't need to like be totally cold. The sauce isn't going anywhere. And last cookie.
I'm not sure why in a baking aisle you can't get those caramels. Kraft doesn't do it in a block so that we don't have to go through the process.
I didn't even find them at the grocery store when I went to go shopping, which was annoying. So then I had to make a separate trip to Bulk Barn. Okay. So 1 second. Okay, so then this side, we just take little, using a half teaspoon, and just kind of like press in and create the little hole. I fucked that one up.
That's off camera, by the way.
Oh, shoot.
Singles.
Thank
Oh,
you.
There you go.
yes.
There we go.
Bruiser thinks they should make caramel craft singles. You know, you'd unwrap it like a cheese slice and you'd have a caramel.
That would be dangerous.
Uh-oh. Scott says you have made his mom want turtles.
They're the holiday chocolate, I'm telling you.
That's a really good idea. I've seen this before, but I've never considered making it. And, you know, this is a really nice cookie.
Yeah, it's cute.
Does it require much decorating after because it's all done?
It's all pretty much, yeah. There's just a little chocolate drizzle at the end, but super simple.
So you're using a measuring spoon to make your thumbprint rather than your thumb.
Yeah.
I like it.
And then this is the same like spoon I'll use to actually fill it, so I kind of get the right amount of caramel.
Yeah.
When I go.
Yeah, because I actually use my thumb, and then it's an oval rather than a nice round divot.
Okay, so in the oven this goes 350.
Nice oven, yeah.
And then I need to put a timer on because I don't think my oven has a timer. And then I'll burn them. 1 sec. So I said 8 to 10 minutes. But I made some yesterday.
Oh,
so here's
look
6
at
of them.
you being all pro TV chef.
Look, it's like they did on the cooking shows. Okay.
Except they wear shirts.
Who said that?
I did.
Okay, so then this is my caramel sauce. And then I'm just gonna rinse this off. Okay, so then easy peasy. And we go.
You know these would be good.
Well, yeah, I could eat 6 of those. Unfortunately, he only has 6, so nobody else gets one.
So this batch, like the whole recipe actually makes 24.
Oh, that's nice.
So when you do the dough, it kind of looks like it's not going to make 24. It's like, but it does.
And like I said, that recipe's on Instagram because Mark sent it to me today, so I posted it. So if anybody would like it, it's something you could. It looks like pretty pantry-esque kind of ingredients.
Yeah,
except for
you
the
don't
caramel.
like. Other than the caramel, you probably, if you bake, you probably have chocolate and cocoa, and really that's, and maybe pecans. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but.
Another thing about this is you don't need any special tools. You need a baking sheet
No.
and oven.
Yeah, that's it. And maybe a microwave, which I don't. Made the caramel sauce. What's that?
That appliance that seems to be turned backwards behind you.
Oh, on the bottom?
Yeah.
That's my dishwasher. It's a drawer dishwasher that I can't use right now, so because it's not properly installed yet, and it's a panel front, so, and the panels aren't made yet, so.
Time.
The never-ending renovation.
Kitchen renovations are wicked.
Well, it was a whole condo, so there's more that's still not done.
Wow.
But whatever, it is what it is. Okay, so they're filled. Then the next little bit to just top it off is a chocolate drizzle. Which again, you could just heat up some chocolate, probably in the microwave or something like that.
Oh, look at this.
Pinch of the whole.
I just put some in a little Ziploc bag and put it in some simmering water. And then I'm gonna just snip a little thing.
This does
off.
look like a little bag you might find on the middle of Queen Street after like a Saturday night.
Oh.
And then just like a little. Ooh, it's also hot. The bag is hot.
Ooh, look at that. Great little trick. Because then if it's glucky and mucky, you just throw it away. Okay, those look delicious.
It's really hot, the bag.
That looks nice.
And that's them.
Hot.
Hot, yeah. So these were the ones I made yesterday. These are these ones. So that's the half batch. I did half of the batch of the dough, and the rest of it's what's in the oven right now.
Well, they look amazing. So we thank you, Mark, because you know the true sign of a good chef on a TV show or a stream is if you inspired somebody. And I have a feeling that that is going to be something somebody makes today. So let me know in the chat if you have any idea if you're going to make this, and if you do, send us pictures of it. All right, Mark, we're going to say goodbye to you, and thank you so much. February 13th, I think you're on.
Maybe. Gotta check that curling schedule.
Yeah, well, your audition worked out well, so we'll let you know. Thanks so much for coming on, Mark, and have a nice day. Okay, everybody, we are going to go back. That was fun. That was a lot of fun, and I thank everybody for being here. And you know, a lot of you have subscribed to my channel. I'm an affiliate now. Woo! Exciting. And if you've subscribed, great. If you haven't, hey, give me a little bit of a consideration, because I would appreciate it. Now, I am going to be making meringues today, like I told you. It's not as exciting as Allison's eyebrows. Obviously, Tom has learned to use green screen kind of things, so that's fun. That's fun. All right, so I'm going to get my mixer going. Now, if you have liked my Instagram, if you've been here, if you've done all of those things, I know I took it off. If you've done all of those things, you are entered into the giveaway. Next week, I am going to be at the Speakeasy Channel studio, and we are going to draw that. I think we're going to have some fun. I'm not sure if my mic was making sounds. I took my apron off because the Red Wings did not beat them recently. And if they did, it was a fluke. So I am making some meringues. So I've got about half a cup of egg whites in here. And I am going to put in a half a teaspoon of cream of tartar. Oh, Bo would have liked that. Yes, he would have liked the Minecraft thing. I'm going to put in a little bit of salt. When you make meringues, you have to get the egg whites frothy and foamy. Sounds like bomb. And then you have to slowly add the sugar in. If you don't, you're going to compromise the stability of the egg whites. So I'm going to put in just a little tiny bit of salt. It just gives it flavor. Lies, all of it lies. So what I've got here, oh, by the way, some of us put vanilla in our meringues, but I don't do that. I put rose water, just a little tiny bit of rose water, and it just gives it a really bright floral taste. And when you're eating it, you think this is really an unusual thing. You can also put orange water. It's a Cedar brand. You'll see it in most international sections. I just like, you know, a bit because you don't want it to overwhelm. Fun fact, cream of tartar is a byproduct of the winemaking process. Here, you know, we're a themed show. By the way, that hot I can smell the rose. The hot chocolate was yummy. Just a really rich drink. So I got through about this much. I'm not a drinker. As much as it appears that I might be, I'm not. So some of that stuff's a little bit much for me. Yeah, just to okay, so I'm going to add in a little bit of sugar. I should have used the extra fine sugar. I didn't. So we're going to just keep adding this slowly. Once this is, there's an echo, Scott says.
No.
Outfit.
So loud. I have to turn everything down.
Oh, okay. Outfit change. So I'm adding a couple teaspoons at a time because if I don't, I'm not going to get meringue, and if I'm distracted, I might even wreck my meringue. Gotta let it get some body to it. Once I get some body, I'm going to change from the paddle to the whip. So this is weird what happens to my stream manager. It will just stop, and I have to look up here. So Allison, I've gotten over that your eyebrows are more exciting than my meringue. A little. Starting to get there. Let's add in a little bit more sugar. You can smell the rose water. Little Miss Erin, I think she was here today. She's was from our last brew cookie exchange, and she made the shortbread. Maybe some of you have tried that. I know, barely got over the eyebrow. I'm going to tell you, Allison, though, this meringue won't hurt you. Let me stop the noise, and I'm going to put on the whip. And I'm going to whip it good. Whip it real good. So, oh, I should wax one of my eyebrows. Wow, wax an eyebrow on stream. One of your eyebrows. I have no concern about my eyebrows. I don't care. Wish I cared. December 19th, we are not. Oh yeah, hey, we could do my eyebrows. I haven't done them. I have not done them. We could do my chest as well. So I'm getting some really good, although Allison may have a little bit more chest hair, but you know, not really. Not really. Hormones can change your life. All right, I'm getting some really good meringue here. So what I'm going to do is pipe it. Oh, Bruiser, I wanted to show you. I figured out how to use this. It's so simple. I just take this off, and I shake some out. No need to take it out of the container, and then I clip it. Perfect. Chest hair is astounding. Okay, I'm going to keep adding the sugar. That was 1 cup of sugar. I should have used the extra fine, and I usually do, but I didn't today. Looks good. I want stiff peaks. Nice stiff peaks. This is going to be quick. I've got my oven, you know, meringues aren't hard. I've got my oven at 225. And these cook for 1 hour. Then you take them out. Not yet. You take them out and you let them sit in that oven for 2 hours. Why the extra fine, Connie? Because then when I eat the meringue, I'm not going to get any grittiness. It's going to be a smooth, creamy meringue in the center. And I undercook mine a bit so that it is a little bit creamy. It's looking really good, though. I think I added the sugar at the right time. Nope, a little bit more. Now, I'm going to be asking a few of you, if you're interested in the February 13th show, I have secured a speaker, and you may know him from Toronto. It's Michael. Don't know. His company is called Chocolate Soul, and he is very passionate about chocolate. Let's keep checking, because if your meringues, nope, a little bit more. If your meringues are coarse, blah. That was that about a protein. So next week is the KitchenAid giveaway. You don't have to be entered into it more than once to win, and that's what's going to be fun about it. So we do know there's a few people on the chat who are in that draw a lot, but it only takes one draw, one entry to win it. We dissolve the sugar with the egg whites. Ooh, yeah. Well, that's more like isn't that more like a 7-minute frosting? Just a little bit more, because, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pipe them onto a parchment paper. If you notice, this is probably the best way to do your piping. I put it in a glass. I fold it over. That way you don't get it all over the top. A Swiss is Swiss meringue? Isn't that where you've got, I could do it a little bit more. Swiss meringue is where you're using a 7-minute frosting plus the butter. I'm just learning all about the different types of frosting. Frosting is not one of my fortes. That's faster. I think we've got it now. It looks like it'll hold its shape. I hope so. I may have underdone it, and if you underdo it, you just ruin what your progress has been. So I'm going to put the meringue into the piping bag. Yeah, it's okay. You know, you run the risk of going too much. It's a strange thing, man. Cooking without an apron is like cooking naked, as Mark would be quite comfortable with, I think. Can't do that. I'm going to add a little bit more because we don't want to be doing this, filling it after. So I have used a large star tip. You could do anything. I want to make these more like a meringue kiss, not a big one. I made a batch about a week ago, and I sat and ate the whole thing. Yeah, it's a bit piggy. Okay, so let's see how we're going to do this. I really hate it when Bruiser's here, because I know Stephen is watching me and saying, what is she doing? Okay, so we're going to get, there we go. We got some. Okay, so I'm going to be making a kiss. Tiny, like that. Now, do we have, whoops, damn it. There's a hole in my meringue bag. I did that with the tip. And we'll see if I can staunch that. Okay. I might need to get a new bag. Maybe I'll get some made. I want them tiny because I'm thinking about making a cookie that is a lemon curd cookie. Bye, Bruiser. Thanks for showing up today. So I want to get these uniform. So I'm going to be making a lemon curd cookie, and then this little kiss.
You should throw a second bag on top.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Well, our stream is almost done. I'm trying. What's happening is I'm not getting uniform kisses. Not bad. That little bit of rose in there is delicious. Now, these wouldn't be your average meringue cookie because they're a bit tiny. The last ones I made, and that's why I ate them, is because they were too big. So I hope you enjoyed today's cookie exchange. I think it was a really fun idea. You know, we got a few more people involved. You got to see other people cooking. Remember the February 13th chocolate special if you are interested in being one of our guests. Starting to rush it. Let me know. I might be actively seeking some of you out. So some of these are great for this. Just a little bit. Yeah, that's a good idea, the second bag. Just a little bit to, if I have any extra, I might just make a big meringue to make an eat mess for John for when I go back to Toronto. As soon as you rush things, So I bake these 225 for an hour, and then I just let them sit in the oven for 2 hours after that to dry. So we had a power outage here yesterday, and that really rocked our world because it, makes you frightened. All of a sudden, you're just going to freeze to death. No water. I'm glad I wasn't in the dark. It's not fun. All right, I'm going to put those in the oven. They look like this little dots, but that's what I want. I want tiny little things. Okay, so I want to show you the soup I made today. This soup is, if you've got this one on, this soup is a potato leek, very delicious. What I did is, I made a broth with leeks and potatoes, carrots, celery, and a little bit of apples, pears, the pear that I peeled last night in our stream. And then I added the sweet pear chili from Dawson's. Now, I want to tell you about this because it just sharpened it and it brought it to life. Any little hot sauce, but Dawson's, the pear one, so mellow and so mild, it's delicious. Now, Dawson's has a special right now. I know it sounds like I'm plugging for them, I am. Dawson's has a special right now. Look at them. They're based out of Hamilton. If you look them up, you'll find that they've got 4 bottles for the price of 3 with shipping. It's a great gift package. Sometimes you have a foodie in your life and you're looking for something to buy for them for Christmas, and that's nice. Dawson's is always there for you. So anyway, this leek potato soup sounds delicious, and that's going to be our dinner today. So anyway, we were talking about some voice tics and some things that streamers do, and I'm sure the people who are streamers on my chat right now know what I mean by a voice tic, when you say the same thing over. I find that I say a lot. It's a way of guiding yourself to the next thought. I use the word so because it's a transitional word that makes us go to the next thing. So there it is. I'm going to start thinking about those because another streamer brought it to my attention that they find themselves using those voice tics. And if you hear me saying something, if it annoys you or you find it to be distracting, I'd really like it if you sent me a message in a very positive way to tell me that here's a word that you say a lot. I'll work on it because I am aware of the and the ah. I am aware that I sometimes trail off on my thoughts. I'm going to get better with that too. Saying that, I just avoided saying so. Saying that, we are going to say goodbye for the day. I'm not sure if Blue Hummingbird is streaming or not, but there are lots of things that are coming up on the Speakeasy channel. So if you're new to my channel or new to Twitch, some of you are new to this idea, you won't find Speakeasy here. You go look for Speakeasy like you looked for me. And the Speakeasy channel has an array of great stuff for the week. We have Allison on Monday nights with the Not On Tonight show. We have Bomb and Russ on Tuesday night, which is very entertaining, cracks me up. We have Kitty Creature on Wednesday night doing an old school gaming show. Thursday night they take a break. Friday night is Speakeasy TV radio, I should say, Speakeasy Radio, which is fun. Last Friday we did a lot of TikToks. It was a lot of fun. So stick around, entertain yourself on these cold nights with Speakeasy, but always come back to me on Sunday. I will see you in Toronto next Sunday at 11 o'clock, and we will have some fun. See you guys later. Bye.